Good morning. How are you all? I hope you're all well. It's Friday. It's the last Friday before Christmas. Is it exciting? Is it scary? Well, I don't know. For an accountant, it's quite scary, to be honest with you, because we're getting to January, which is great. I apologise for my hair in advance. I am having a hair appointment this evening, 7:30 this evening. I've never had a hair appointment quite so late. But anyhow, so how are we all? Are you all okay? I hope everything is all fine. Sorry, my phone decided to ring at the time. So today, it may sound really, really boring, this, but talking tax. We're going to be talking about tax today because it's getting to that time, and people are beginning to get into that sort of have that vague sense of panic. Have I got time? How am I going to get it done? Etc. etc. Please do comment on the comment box and let me know that you're watching. I'd love to hear who you are. So we're going to be talking about tax, as I say. So tax, it's a bit of a bugbear of an awful lot of people. Clients who come to me and say, do you know what, just the idea of doing my tax return terrifies the life out of me. Quite often when I actually start doing it, it's sort of like, oh, okay, it's actually not that bad. So what do you think? What have you done yours? Is it in? Is it submitted? There are various things that we have to think about as far as tax is concerned. We all know that 2020 has been one of the most stressful years, if not the most stressful year for most people. And with lockdowns and restrictions and all sorts of things, nasty things like that, all in place, filling in your tax return might actually be the last thing on your mind at the moment. Oh, Kate! Look what Kate's put. I've got a fabulous accountant who got it submitted really early for me. I did. Thank you so much, Kate. That's so sweet of you. So yeah, filling in your tax return might well be the last thing on your mind. But while you have got until midnight on 31st of January 2021 to submit it online, it's dangerous leaving it till the last possible moment. It really, really is. I always say to my clients, I like to get your tax returns in within 3 months at the beginning of the new tax year, for the simple reason that, well, there are a few reasons. Firstly, if there are any issues as far as HMRC are concerned, we've got time to sort them out. Secondly, you've got time to save up for your tax bill. Now, if you happen to be running profit first, whether that's through me or through anybody else, or just doing it on your own. If you happen to be running profit first, obviously you will already be saving up for your tax anyhow. And if you're a client of mine, I will have already advised you to make sure that you are putting a certain percentage aside for your tax. It is so important and it takes off so much stress off your shoulders. It's one of the most important things I think to do in any business, to be quite honest with you. But also, the sooner that you get it done, the sooner you can forget about it. It's one of those things that's sort of like, okay, it's done, out of the way, boop, gone. In fact, we always say it's better to get it done and dusted before Christmas. Then you can focus on the other important aspects of your business. You can think about what your goals are for the next year. You can think about, okay, fine, I know how much I've got to do my payment on account at the end of January and the end of July, if you're doing a self-assessment, which you presumably would be. And therefore I need to know how much I've got to save up. So this time next year, I want to be in this position. I want to be paying this much tax, which means that I've got to save up this much. How much have I got to put aside now? Start putting aside now. How often am I going to do it? What is going to be my routine for doing that? If you're running profit first with me, you're going to be doing it on a weekly basis. On a Friday morning, every Friday morning, apart from next Friday morning, we do a profit allocation. So all of our percentages, depending on what they happen to be, we organise those to go straight into our other bank accounts, wherever they happen to be. There are various other arguments as far as getting your tax return done as soon as possible. Okay, January is not only the busiest month for your accountant, so unless you are paying a set amount for your tax return with your accounts, your accountant may well charge you extra for doing it in January. Personally, there are only a couple of clients I do this with because they give me their tax returns, and they have done for about 10 years now on in between the 15th and the 20th of January, which is useless because they're complicated ones as well. I do always get them in, and I always tell them I'm going to get them in, and they always probably know that I'm going to get them in, but they also know that I actually charge them extra, but they don't seem to mind, which I have to, because actually now that I've got so much business going on at the moment, I actually outsource quite a lot of my work. So if I'm outsourcing it to somebody else and they've got to fit it in with all of their work that they're doing, I have to overcharge. Well, no, it's not overcharge. Sorry, that's wrong. I have to charge extra for January. But also, it's one of the busiest months, obviously, for HMRC. Now, HMRC at the moment are in one hell of a pickle with COVID and everything else going on. It's almost impossible to get hold of them. You're supposed to be able to get hold of them on web chat, but I mean, that can take days, literally days, just to get down to number one on their web chat. Sometimes you can call them. If you're an agent like me, then you have a special phone number to ring. It still takes half an hour to 3/4 of an hour to actually speak to anybody, which is a bit of a nightmare. They're all working from home mostly, or the majority of them are, and so therefore they, for some reason, don't seem to be able to get all of your information. I'm not quite sure why, but they can't. So if you have got, if there's a potential issue with your tax return, then for God's sake, don't get it done during January, because you'll never get hold of HMRC. If you don't have a unique tax reference number and you've got to apply for it before you submit your tax return, you won't get it if you do it in January. They say that they need 6 to 8 weeks at the moment to set up a new unique tax reference number. If you've lost your tax reference number, you can actually ring them up, go through a whole load of security, which takes about 3 days, and they will actually give it to you over the phone. Otherwise, they will post it to you, which again, with Christmas and New Year, can take a very long time. So just please, if you haven't done your tax return, get on with it now. Get over it. Get it sorted before Christmas if you possibly can. What are the other issues? Your accountant may be away. They may well be away. Accountants do actually quite often take time off over the holidays, so it is quite a good idea, if you're not on top of your books and you're not on top of your tax return, to just check whether or not they're going to get it done beforehand. I will have, depending on any new clients coming, I will have 5 tax returns to do during January, which is the first year that I've had so few to do, because I have done them all during the year. Either I have or I've outsourced them. Do you actually need an accountant to submit your tax return? No, you don't. If you're happy to do it and you're confident on what you're doing, and if you're doing you've got a small sole trader or whatever, then yes, you could do it yourself. If you've got a limited company, I honestly would not advise doing it yourself, to be quite honest, because there are so many things that you can claim for that you might not be claiming for. But also, you've got to do your corporation tax, and you have to do all of that online, and you can't just do it just like that. One of the main disadvantages of filing your tax return late or in January is that if you need to reduce your tax bill, whether that's by reducing your payments on account, or you need to set up some sort of payment plan or anything like that, you're unlikely to be able to do it during this time. So again, try and get it done before if you possibly can. Also, if you do file it late, you will get a late submission fine of £100. So to prevent that last minute rush, just try and get it done as soon as you possibly can. Late filing can be stressful, really, really stressful. Your tax return needs to be the last possible thing in your mind over the holidays. You need to be able to, especially this year, we need to be able to really relax and celebrate and really get ourselves rested and replenished. In my eyes, I think it's absolutely imperative. But if you've got your tax return hanging over your head, you're going to worry about it. You're going to think about it. It's always going to be there. So as a self-employed individual or sole trader, this is something that should be avoided, I believe, at all costs. And I mean all costs. And as I said before, you can plan your budget ahead of time. Finally, a New Year is a fantastic time to start setting your financial goals, your priorities. What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be looking forward to? How are you going to save up for your tax next year. What are you going to do? Now, as a lot of you know, I am a Profit First professional, and I am running in March. I'm running a new Profit Accelerator course, which is going to be really exciting. But what I'm also doing is I'm setting up profit assessments for anybody who wants them. There are various criteria that I will need. You have to be on a cloud accounting system. You have to be, your cloud accounting system has to be up to date. You have to have at least 1 year's accounts. And I'm going to sneeze and I'm really sorry. Excuse me. And you have to give me 10 days to get through all of your accounts to do a profit assessment for you. With that profit assessment, we work out what your rollout plan is for Profit First. For that, I will send you a video telling you all about Profit First and how it works and what you need to do to be able to get going with it. Obviously, there are other ways of using Profit First. If you want to use it through me, then obviously I will set it up for you. We'll go through the whole thing. We have a quarterly meetup to make sure that you are on the right track as far as your percentages are concerned. But if you want to do it on your own, it's a really, really good way of doing it. You just sign up for the profit assessment. It's very, very quick, as I say, to sort out. We work out all your percentages and sort it all out. And during January, I will be doing a special offer on this. It's usually $397 to do this, but I'm actually going to be offering it for $297 for anybody who signs up before the 15th of January. So if you are interested, go along to my website, which is hettyverneyaccounting.co.uk, and you will be able to sign up there for a profit assessment. So I'm not going to blather on anymore because I've blathered on enough. I'm having 2 weeks off as far as my Friday focuses are concerned because I need to rest and replenish before January comes, and also it's Christmas. Sorry, puppy's going mad now. Piper, shush. So all of you have a fabulous Christmas, and I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you so much. Bye.